It is no longer news that the Nigerian Senate House of Rep embarked on 7 weeks recess to resume September 17. The Senate and House of Representatives have embarked on their annual recess. The lawmakers are expected to resume the plenary on September 17. Now, this recess they embarked, people are trying to normalize it. I know that they came back from break a few weeks ago, but when you look at the situation at hand now, you see that protest is about to happen in a country. And these people are just, I will call it an emergency recess that they are going. But you know what? How many of you remember this video? We made this prediction that this will happen. Listen to this.
Then finally, before I allow another person to talk, I want you to know that currently intelligence have revealed that many of the politicians have bought their flight ticket. Majority of them is flying to UK. Majority of them is flying to France. Minority of them is coming to the US. Minority of them is fleeing to neighboring African countries, with the exception of Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. This is all I want to say. God bless you. A good night.
More questions, sir. Why are they trying to flee out of Nigeria because of the protest? What is their fear?
Okay. Now, after saying this, mark down the date and what I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
The protest, some say 1st August, some say 29 of July, right?
Yes.
Watch out when they're going to stop their meetings in the National Assembly.
Okay.
Watch out when they're going to stop their meetings in the National Assembly. But it's very unfortunate because they think that this protest is like NSAS. Guys have mobilized themselves, that they're waiting for them wherever they want to go. All this money they use for their SUVs, for their allowances, they will cough it out. They will cough it out. The North are bent on it. Okay, have you seen the video of people who were giving palliative?
What do you think? Do you think that it's because of what is about to happen that is making them to go for recess? If you ask me, I will tell you that it has a link with the protest. I think if they wanted to go to recess, it's supposed to be from the mid of August. From August break, they will do that. But let me know what you think about this. For those of you who are trying to oppose the protest, who are trying to say that it's not important, or why is it that people want to protest, the protest has not been working before, this is just all about fear. And I keep on telling people that any country in the world where the people are afraid of the government, you know that there is tyranny, there is oppression, there is no freedom. But anytime the government are afraid of the people, there is freedom, there is liberty. The reason why it seems that we in Nigeria, we are like people who are in bondage already. We are like people who don't have say. You can't talk where a politician is talking. They have a mass power to themselves. You see, the mission, one of the mission of this protest is to begin to dismantle the power of politicians they have amassed to themselves and return it to the people. The government must be afraid of the people if we want a good country. The government must be afraid of the people if we want a good nation. We can't continue in a country where you can't even have say what happened. Your politicians are not interested. Everything they are doing is just against the people, from the presidency down to the lowest level of the government. Everything they are doing is against the people. When you hear that they want to, they want to do palliative, they want to supply palliatives to people, it is against the people. How? The money they will release for the palliative, they won't use it. They will use only 10 to 20%, because if they are not using 10 to 20%, tell me how can they give half bag of rice to almost 200 people? Half bag of rice to 200 people. You said you are sharing palliative. You didn't ask them about the gas or kerosene they are going to use to cook the rice. Things are not just working well. Now, if they said they want to tie roads, watch closely the budget for the roads. It is still against the people. They want to build hospital. Watch the budget of the hospital. They will just embezzle money and make sure they build substandard hospital. And that is why their children cannot go to the hospital you are going. Their children cannot go to the school that you are going. Some of them have private businesses, but their children can't go there. They will do everything they will do is for you. You and you alone. These people don't believe in this country. They have, so many things in abroad. All their notes, they take it abroad to establish companies and so on and so forth. Do you know that so many, I will not say so many because it is group of Nigerian politicians. Do you know that they have refineries outside Nigeria? That is why you see that Nigerian refinery can't work. No matter the stories they are telling you, we are going to make sure refinery will start next year, giving stories up and here. What stops our refinery from working? And that is why they were trying to sabotage Dangote refinery, because they know that if Dangote starts his refinery, the production, they start supplying him everything, it will not help them to import the fuel they are refining from their own refinery in abroad. Nigerians will see all these things, they will hear all these things, they will still keep quiet. Now, if we do not rise above these people, see, history has demonstrated that when a government fails, the people should rise and make sure they correct that mentality. We have been psycho-conditioned that if you are fighting the government, it is this, it is that. No, it is your right. Protest is your right. Any civil disobedience is your right. It is your duty to rise above the government, because many Nigerians don't know what it means to have a nation. Many Nigerians don't know what it means to have a country. We don't have one. If you know the meaning of a citizenship, what you are entitled to, what is your right, and your benefit, let me tell you, so many of us don't know that you as a part or a citizen of a country, the oil well of that country belongs to you. The gold, the gold that they are mining supposed to belongs to you. The presidential jet, the whole resources of the country belongs to you. Let me give you an example, further illustration. If Nigeria has the population of 180 to 200 million people, for example, and the total wealth Nigeria is generating is like 3 trillion. Divide that 3 trillion into 200 million people. 1% is your own. I hope you get that. 1% is supposed to be your own. That 1%, if they join it together, they're supposed to use it to tide your roads, have a good hospital for you. Why is it that if people are sick in Nigeria, if you don't have money, you go to hospital, you can't pay your bill, and they can't treat you without you paying in government hospitals? It is happening. There was a time I had an accident on bike. It was a very terrible accident, and I was rushed to the hospital. I think that was on Sunday. When they were rushing me to hospital, I was losing blood. I can't forget that in a hurry. And I was very late to then. Now, when we got to the hospital, or Owandero General Hospital to be precise, it's a government hospital. When we got to the hospital, the reason why they treated me is because one of my cousins was working there. The doctor said, number one, that I have to pay before they will start treating me, and that was emergency. I was losing strength already. I can't even talk in a loud voice. I was telling them, I am losing strength. It was that my cousin that rushed to bring cold water. She bought mud for me. She bought all those things for me. Now, the reason why I'm giving all these stories is to tell you why Nigeria is not working. Someone is in an emergency situation. The person is losing blood before you. I can't forget that in a hurry. The memory is still in me. They were telling me that I have to deposit, I have to pay before they will start treatment. Where does it happen? Because we don't have a nation we can call our own. We don't have a nation at all. The same thing in school. In a public institution, maybe you are going to school. At 200, 300 level, you're unable to pay your school fees. They can tell you to leave the school. Government institution, the school belongs to you as a citizen. The school belongs to you, but people don't know all these things. The day Nigerians realize they are right as citizens, that day Nigeria will turn upside down. Because our politicians, they are playing with us because of our ignorance. Our ignorance, our disunity is their power. But you know what? It is time. Anytime the government are afraid of the people, you know that there is liberty. So for these people to start having fear of what is coming, it's a liberty to the people, and let that continue. It is our duty to make the government to fear us, and we are going to set a system to make sure that this will be consistent. It is now or never.